everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Let me know in the comment section, excuse me, where you are watching from. I'm Hani of Hanielas, and you can find all the recipes that I will be using in today's live stream on my blog, hanielas.com. Link to my blog is running at the bottom of the screen. So hi, everyone. I'm just going to jump into the comment section. I see a lot of people commenting here. So thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hi, Colleen. Thank you for your email. That email that we are using, it's an email that I check once a week. So if you want to, maybe I'll send you my other email that we can communicate and I can reply faster. Hi, Jen. How is it going? Hello, Sherry, Texas. Howdy. Or no, not howdy. What's the, how you all? I can remember now. Hi, Byron. Oh, you're so sweet. Mwah, thank you. Hello, Judy. How are you doing, Judy? Hello, hello. Thank you, YouTube user. Oh, it's not, okay. Hello, Angie. So today I am going to show you guys, as you probably see in the preview, we're gonna work on some sea cookies or sea-inspired cookies. I mentioned, I think earlier this month that we visited, oh, you're so sweet, thank you. We visited Portugal and I'm still just smitten by everything that we've seen, and we walked, I'm trying to think how many miles it was. 51 kilometers. Somebody please do the math. 51 kilometers across the beaches. So it was amazing. Hello, Sally. You have a fantastic, fantastic time. And I will be thinking of you when you are in Barcelona. We will be in the same time zone. Exciting. Send me a message when you are in. Hello, June. Hello, hello. So anyway, I was saying, like, I was inspired by everything we've seen there, and I also saw my very first starfish. It was a dead starfish, but nevertheless, it was a starfish, and I have a picture I wanted to share with you. Hi, Karen. Thank you for joining in, even if it's just for a little bit. Thank you so much. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Margaret. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Enjoying your vacation. Are you on vacation? So I'm gonna show you the picture. Where is it? That inspired today's project. Oh, here it is. So it's very small. Sorry, it's very small. It's from my phone. But we were looking for a starfish. We wanted a starfish into our collection, and we couldn't find any. And we went on a really windy day. It was very, very cold. And I was even like, oh, should we leave? The beach was empty. And then we actually found this in the very back. I think maybe, I don't know, these are probably several months old or maybe even older. Most of them were covered in sand, and they were unfortunately dead. And afterwards, I read that they only survived 30 seconds. So like when they are thrown onto the beach, they only have 30 seconds, and then yeah, so it's a very short time. So we haven't seen any they were alive. Hi, Angie. So I also wanted to share a few things before we get started. I released today brand new tutorial on Patreon, and it's a 3D tutorial. So if you are considering subscribing to the 3D Cookie Wizards tier, there is a plethora of 3D cookie decorating tutorials there already, and there will be more because I'm adding one every month. And this month, this is the tutorial that I am sharing there with step-by-step instructions. And also, oh, did you hear that? The birds. And also there are templates available there for you. And there's a video tutorial that is narrated and shows all the steps. Also, I uploaded my templates for this project in my coffee shop. So if you wanted to just grab the templates, you can do that also. Oh, thank you, Anne. Hello, thank you for being here. Yes, it's a shadow box. So I was so excited to finally do this project. I had this on my mind for a while, and I did a shadow box last year, but it wasn't quite what I would share. Okay, if I'm being honest. All right, so let me just grab, if I can grab the link to the templates, purchase the template. So you can, I think it's the first, I don't have a direct link. Let me just grab the link so you can, okay, oops. And then for the Patreon, I'm also going to quickly put the link to the Patreon for those of you who wanted to sign up. And I also have some other exciting news about Patreon. And we're going to get those out of way. And then we're going to start with today's project. So another thing I wanted to mention is this month, I am starting a new thing on Patreon, and that's monthly cookie decorating challenges. I'm hoping you guys can join these challenges. Unfortunately, they're only open to paid members. That's per the setting on Patreon. But I'm going to try to figure out a way how some of you can join. I know not everybody can afford a full membership. So I'm hoping to open a new tier just so you can join these challenges. And these are going to be monthly challenges. This month's theme is, can you guess? It's a sea theme. I am absolutely obsessed with everything that has to do with sea. And so that's going to reflect in those challenges as well. And this is also the project I showed you earlier. So this is the beginning and then how I decorated, so it's a really nice project. And I hope you will consider joining, and then you can improve your skills. In this particular tutorial, there is a watercolor painting. We are using icing combs to create texture, and also other royal icing 3D piping tips and so on. So that's the exciting news. And now we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let me just bring up my camera here so I can, okay, here you go. I think I can do that. All right, here we go. So this project, as you see, I'm gonna demonstrate on a star cookie because I already had these baked, but you can do this on pretty much any shape. Any shape will do pretty much. Hi, Heather. You're really not that late. We're just starting with the tutorial. I was just doing the introduction to the new things and sharing some new tutorials. So you can see the link to the templates and all that in the comment section. Thank you for being here. Hello, Melody. Niagara Falls. It's exciting. I've never been to Niagara Falls. I hear that from Canadian side, it's, sorry, anyone, if you get offended, I hear that it's much nicer. So anyway, you can do this project on any shape you want, okay? I just happen to have star cookies. I've seen this done on a heart shape. I've seen it done on pineapple. So just be creative, all right? So that's what we will be using. But before we get there, let me grab my starfishes. So I already got a head start, and this will be this full tutorial with how to make the starfishes. It will be in the Patreon. So if you want to sign up, this will be in a 5-tier $5 tier group, cookie crafters. So I already got a head start. I'm just going to add some details, and for that I need white royal icing. Hi, Linda. I think I got your email a little too late. I don't know if you got my email today regarding the template. I don't know. Do you still need it, or let me know? So I've got my piping bag here. I am going to cut a small opening. What I like to do when I'm working with tipless piping bags, I like to press down the seam like this all the way to the tip. And then I just cut a small opening. I don't want to cut a big opening. You don't want to cut here, obviously, and we're not cutting on an angle either. So just a small opening, something like this. It's better to cut a small opening, and then if you need to make it bigger, you can make it bigger. Let me just see. Okay, it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's do the pink one. So these are transfers, and you can see I also airbrush them, but like I said, a full tutorial for these, it will be wow, you live 30 minutes. Wow, you live 30 minutes from Niagara Falls. Hi, Judy. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so it is true. I've never been. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the dots. I'm aligning the dots with the arms. And the first dot is going to be the largest dot, and we're going to create graduating dots that are going to go down the arms. And my icing is about like a soft piping consistency. That just means that it's when you pick it up with spatula, it has a soft peak that falls down, but it doesn't really become blended completely. I wanted to use icing that is going to hold it cheap somewhat, but it's not going to give me those spikes, you know? So I don't have to use my scribe tool every time I pipe a dot. So making the next dot slightly smaller. Oh, this one is to be slightly bigger. Oh, it's okay. I'm not too happy with this one. Let me just, although this is not, I don't really normally advise this because it's been airbrushed, but it's such a small area, so it's okay. Okay. So now we have to let this, before, you can obviously handle it now because this is dry, the base is dry, but I'm concerned about messing up the dot. So give it a minute or two. Thank you, Judy. It's unusual, right? They're not traditional kind of like, colors for the starfish. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove one of these that are already dry. So I did the pink, so let's do the pink one. Okay, wish me luck so I don't break it. And this should come off very easily. All right, so it's in my hand here. And I'm going to set this aside. Now I'm going to bring in my cookie here. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the comment section. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, just for the sake of my sanity, I'm just going to see where I can actually fit the starfish safely, so I don't make the. We're going to be making a water section, sea, and the sand. I want to place the starfish on the sand section. So if I make it too small, if I make my water section too large, then I won't be able to place it there. Obviously, you could just place it it doesn't really matter. But for this project, I wanted to place it on the sand section. So I'm just going to figure out where I want my water. So, okay, something like this, it's fine. So this will be the sand and this will be water. And then we're going to go ahead and start with the water. So for the water, I have two colors. This is like a medium teal. Hi, June, if you're still here, teal girl. And then this is like a sky blue with just a hint of teal, but it's more sky blue than teal. I don't know if you can tell. And both of these are about 15-second consistency. Hello, Monica. Thank you, June. I do love them, if you can tell. I adore those starfishes. So these are two colors that we're going to be using. And then for the sand, I already have here, and this is like a tan color, about 15-second consistency as well. And to get this nice color, I used ivory and I added just a touch of purple. If you have purple royal icing, I highly suggest that you use that instead of food coloring, because you can easily add too much purple food coloring and then it will just not be the right color. But or you can just use straight from the bottle ivory. That will also teal all the way. I know you're a teal girl. So again, we're going to cut the piping bag. Always make sure that you know where the tip went, because sometimes, like if you're doing it about the cookie, it can fall on the cookie and you can forget about it and you can accidentally seal it with your icing. So just remember that. All right. Let's see if we have everything. So I'm going to start with this light blue. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Thank you very much, Claudia. Those of you who are new to the live stream last week, I already shared the news, and the week before about my my new course with the Domestica. I wanted to show you some behind the scenes since we are talking about it. So this was from the shoot, and then this is this is the set of cookies that you learn how to make, along with the tips on how to create your own designs. And also there are templates for different packaging tags, my recipes, and so on. And here is the link. And while we are there, I also wanted to address the course payment question. I received some questions about the payment. And so I created a short video that shows how you can do that. And that's on my YouTube channel. Oh, I just posted. Do you use Addy printer? No, I don't use an Addy printer. I don't have one. I believe it's quite, I don't know how, I think it's like 4,000 or something like that, right? I don't own a Addy printer. But I've seen what it can do. It's incredible. Thank you, Linda. It's incredible what you can do with the printer. I've seen some things. And Esther from Madrid, Esther, what's her screen name in Spanish? I can't remember. So she's using the printer in such a clever way. She's using it to print the outlines on the cookie when you know, for the decorating, which is brilliant. I absolutely love that. Thank you, Jessica. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So remember, this is the sea part, this is the water part. All right, I'm setting this aside. Now I'm gonna come in immediately with the teal. All right, I'm just going to quickly touch up sections that have a gap in there. And yes, you could use a scribe tool to marble, but I find scribe tool doesn't create the transition that you're looking for between the two colors. So I'm gonna be using a palette knife. And I find that the transition, it's much nicer. It's smoother and very just. It's not as harsh and it's so fast. Okay, so that's all you have to do. If you see any spikes, so it's nicely blended together. Yes, it is quite expensive. If you have a lot of orders, I think you can justify the cost. But if you are just like a home baker, it may be a little difficult to, I think, yeah, justify. But what it can do, it's incredible. And I also was looking for a small edible printer or something like Eddie, and I found one that is designed for cappuccino. It was also like $800 or euros or something, but it looked so cool, and it was like really instant. They were adding images on top of the cappuccino. I don't know if you've seen that one. So now you really don't have to wait. I'm using this ivory colored royal icing. This is going to be our sand. And now I'm going to come in with the scribe. Now I'm going to switch to my fine tip scribe because I want to kind of shape this icing here. I want to make sure that it's nicely connected to the water section. Let me just fix this. There was a little dimple there. So this is your base, okay? This is your base, and now we're gonna have to let this dry, and I'll see you tomorrow. No, not really. I have a cookie that I have ready. So I'm gonna set this aside. And I have one here, okay, that we're going to beautify it with some waves and texture, and it's gonna be beautiful. Yes, I agree. It just creates a nice seamless transition. Never would have thought of using a palette knife. Yes, let's break the cookie decorating paradigm, right? Normally we use scribe tool, but I think the first person I've seen using a palette knife was Amber of Sweet Amps many years ago. I think it was Amber. Yeah. And I just really like the idea, and it works, and it's so fast. So try it. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some texture to our sand. Now, you can do this multiple ways. There are ways you can do this. Some people add sanding sugar on top of the ivory, but you would have to, for that to work, you have to let it, you would have to either do this first, and then I do add the sanding sugar, and then add the C, but I personally don't like to add sanding sugar first because I feel like it interferes with the flood then next to it. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to use royal icing to create texture. And many of you probably used it or have seen this before on different cookies. I used it very first time, gosh, 11 years ago, when I started my YouTube channel, I was using food wrap to create texture on bear cookies, like to create like a texture on a bear cookie. And then I've seen people using brushes. So that's what I will be using. I will use a brush, but you can also use, if you don't have a brush, you can use food wrap, or you can even use a clean, never used toothbrush that also works to create some texture. I used it recently to add texture to grass on a golf. Yes, exactly. You can use it, absolutely. Can we refer back to this live later to use it as a reference? Yes, the live stream, all the live streams are available after the live stream ends. What happens, each platform, Facebook and YouTube, they do something on a back end, and then it's uploaded, it's available. I don't know how long it takes. Or maybe it's available immediately. I really don't know. But you can watch a replay and all the live streams. This is actually 216th episode. All the live streams are available in the playlist on YouTube and also on Facebook. I find that on YouTube it's easier to find because there is a tab and you just click on it and you can see all the live streams. And if you just remember 216th episode, this is the episode that we are decorating sea cookies with starfish, realizing transfers. And also there is a thumbnail that shows what's being done in the live stream. No, I completely understand. You decorated the bear. I missed the comment though. I missed your comment, Heather. I think you didn't post, but I understand. Yeah, you can do bear, or did I say bear? Bear. Just leaving. Hi, Sally. So have a safe flight and we will try to behave. Have a safe flight. All right, so now I'm going to open my piping bag again. I prepared this icing earlier, so it's still in piping bags. And for this, we're going to be using a flat paintbrush. And then I'm using this. This is slightly coarse, like the bristles are coarse. It's not super fine. This is a paintbrush by Wilton. It's from a set, and I love this set. Let me grab all the links for the tools that we are using today. Are on YouTube in the description. I'm gonna, however, put some of them in the comment section also. And just to clarify, these are links to the Amazon, and I'm an Amazon affiliate. So if you do make a purchase through any of these links, I get a small commission. And I've showed you this paintbrush many times, and I absolutely love them. So this is from a set of 5, and I'm going to be using it to spread the icing across. And then we will use this brush. Like I said, this is slightly coarser than this one. This is a very fine brush. It has fine bristles. And we're going to be using this motion to add texture. When adding texture like this, it is important that your icing is thicker. Just clarifying which cookies you were talking about using your technique. Okay, the bear, the animal, the bear cookies. I have a tutorial on the YouTube channel, but please don't search for it. It's so old and the quality is not very good. Let me just grab it. I used food wrap. So I just take a piece of food wrap and I use it, and I was just dabbing like this. It's very quick. It's like if you have to do a lot of cookies, I would totally skip the paintbrush and I would just do this. It's super, super quick. And I mean, the results are very fast. So that's what I was talking about. And then Sally mentioned she used the technique to create also grass on her golf cookies. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this is to fully dry, okay? For this to work, this has to be dry. And you can see my icing is on a thicker side. It's not super thin. So I also have a little jar with water here on hand. So I very lightly, it's not saturated with water. It just super, super lightly damp. You don't want to saturate this with water because then your icing, it's going to become too runny and the texture, it's going to be impossible to create the texture. I am just using this brush lightly, very, very lightly damp, just so it's easier for me to spread this thick icing. You see, I'm not adding a thick layer. I don't need to add thick layer. What you could also do at this point, you could make sand out of the cookie dough. You know, I forgot about that. Sand out of cookie dough, and you can just dip it in the edible sand, and that could be your sand. And now I'm gonna go ahead and take my paintbrush. Like I mentioned, these bristles are coarse bristles. They are not super fine. I find that it works better for me anyway. Like I just like how it creates texture. And you can see where I added more icing. The texture, it's a bit, it creates larger. So I'm just going to move it in this direction because it has, I like it when it's a bit finer. Okay, and while we are there, because this is still wet, so I'm going to take advantage of that, and we're going to glue our starfish on there. And I don't need to add a lot of icing. I just wanted to make sure it's I mean, you really don't have to add any icing because this is still wet. So I'm just going to place it on there. Give it a little wiggle. You don't want to press on it too hard. And that's that. And I also wanted to add some nice details. So while I'm at it, I'm just going to add a few sprinkles. Hopefully they will stick. I'm just going to use my scribe and make them stick. I'm just going to push them into that. So that's for this section. And you can obviously, if you wanted to, you could do, and I've seen this done, you know, like when you add different messages, you could do a little heart or something like that. I've seen designs for weddings, and you could add the initials, you know, J plus M or whatever equals love, or just, you know, add a little heart, but I'm not going to do that today. So let me go back to the comment section. Okay, Diane. Sorry if you already mentioned this, but how did you achieve the color of the sand? So the sand I achieved by combining. I made ivory icing. I used straight from a bottle ivory food coloring, and then I added just minuscule amount of purple royal icing. I prefer using royal icing to create different colors than actual food coloring, because if I need just a tiny bit of purple, sometimes just a little bit of food coloring can really mess up the color. So I find that I have more control using already diluted color in royal icings, but that's what I did. Ivory and a little bit of purple. Thank you, Melody. Did you make the starfish? Yes, I did make the starfish. Let me just bring them. bring them quickly so you can see their transfers. And this full tutorial on how to make the starfish is going to be available in my Patreon group. But today we decorated the very top with the dots. And these are, like I said, realizing transfers, so you can make these ahead of time. All right, so now we are ready to move on, and we can do the waves. Before we get there, I wanted to also share. Last week, I forgot to share Diane's work. So Darlene's work. So Darlene is a member of 3D Wizards tier in my Patreon group, and last month I shared there how to make 3D strawberry basket. And Darlene, prolific creator as she already made the basket, and this is what she sent me. So I don't know if you're watching the replay, Darlene, but I love your work, and keep the pictures coming. And also Sally, and Sally already left, but never mind. She might see this later. So last week, remember we did the donuts, and here are the donuts we did last week, except the faces. I will be adding those in a Patreon group. But Sally created these inspired by last week's live stream. So thank you, both of you, for sending the pictures. And now we can move on and do the waves. So to make the waves, we're going to be using brushes again, but slightly different brush. We're going to be using a small, I would say this is a small filbert brush, paintbrush. A small square brush is also in the set from Wilton that you can use. Yes, Jessica, Patreon, it's a subscription group. Let me see if I have a link. You can check it out. Here we go. And in the beginning of the live, I was telling everyone that we're starting also challenges, monthly challenges in a group, which I'm hoping it's going to be super exciting. And my idea was, let me just see if I can. Okay, monthly challenge. And for these challenges, folks, I will create a Pinterest board where I will pin different images depending on the theme. And I wanted to see if we could, each of us could create a design based on the, like, whatever inspires you on, on the Pinterest board. So I think it would be a really nice learning experience for everyone to see whatever, you see the same image, and then how do you translate that into a design? So I wanted to see that, but also if you can join using the Pinterest board, if you already made the cookies, for example, you made sea-inspired cookies, you made some seashells or something like that, I really welcome you to also join the challenge. Okay. So now we're going to do the waves. To make the waves, I'm going to be using white real icing. This is thick consistency. I've got my piping bag fitted with number 2 piping tip. And like I mentioned, I'm going to be using this paintbrush, the small filbert or like a small square paintbrush. We're also going to use white nonpareils to add some nice detail. And I also have a damp towel here. This is from Borderlands Bakery. I know it's all stained, but this is all food coloring. So I have that on hand. And I also have a small jar with water. This is to keep the paintbrush clean as I'm doing the brush embroidery. Although for this particular design, I'm not going to focus on the tidiness. I want the brush embroidery to have some movement, if you will, so it looks more like waves. And we're going to be doing zigzag movement like this. So if you're just starting with brush embroidery, I want you to start with a small section, like let's say you'll do the zigzag up until, and then you can add more and more. The reason is once your icing starts crusting, then it will be harder for you to do the technique. But I'm doing it all the way through. This is really quick. So I just dampen my paintbrush. Like I said, I'm not too worried if my icing, like all these little sections, I'm not too worried because I want to create look of the waves. So if you have like, you see this little section here, it's like standing up there, it's okay. Let's add another little section here. Oops. And then we can add and what I'm doing off screen, I'm just wiping my paintbrush into a towel. And I'm going to bring in my, where is it? Here it is. I'm going to bring in the sprinkles. And while it's still wet, I want to add some sprinkles on there. You need to do this right away because once it starts crusting, it won't stick. Just a few here and there. I think it adds a really nice detail. You want to do this on something like a paper towel or a coffee filter so you don't have nonpareils everywhere. And that's how you can make these cookies. Let me back up. So I've got some here that I made earlier. And these are just different colors. And I have another one here. So I've made 5 total here. And you can make the starfishes any colors you want. These are all airbrushed, so it's very easy to do them in different colors. Thank you everyone. I hope you will try this tutorial, and if you do, don't forget to send me pictures. If you are new to the live stream, I go live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Facebook and YouTube. So you can join there, or you can join there. It's like you can join on Facebook or YouTube, depending on which platform you prefer. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Jen. And if you'd like to, oh, here it is. So if you haven't already, you can also sign up for the newsletter. You can sign up for the decorating newsletter. And in this newsletter, I will send you directly into your inbox a reminder about each live stream and also updates about new cookie decorating. I have a, okay, I don't know if the comment, oh, it's coming, okay. So I see, let's see, we have a few questions. All right. And the questions are, what if I don't have an airbrush? It's a great question. If you don't have an airbrush, now this is not like this particular look will be harder to achieve without the airbrush. But what you can do, let me just quickly grab these. If you wanted to, you could do watercolor starfish, and just grab a couple. You which I think are really cute as well. So this is without the airbrush. So these were also white, and I used watercolor food wrap technique to add color to them. It's not the same as these, but this is also very, very quick and easy to do, and you could do that. And I'm hoping I will share a tutorial in the Patreon group, Charlie, so you can have a look at how to go about making watercolor royal icing using a food wrap, or you can there are tutorials on how to use food wrap in painting on YouTube. It's interesting how you can use different medium, and you can apply it to royal icing. Are they good for selling on the market? Well, if you have a clientele that's asking for C cookies, you could easily adapt these to a wedding, do them on a heart. Like I said, you could include a name. There are so many different occasions for cookies like this. It just depends on what your clientele is looking for. You want to go to the beach. Yeah, I don't blame you. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Linda. Oh, you like the multicolored. Yeah, so you can, this is watercolor with food wrap technique. Maybe I will share that next week. Do you guys want to see that? Yes, you could also use Eddie for transfers. You could use Eddie for everything, honestly, yes. But then the Eddie would replace me. And I don't want that to happen. There is a topic for you, alternative ways to color royal icing transfers. Yeah. Oh yes, it would replace me. Oh yes, you want to see. Okay, so next week that might be fun. It's really easy and fun to do. So, and it's you can apply it on so many different things. So I will do that next week. So next week we are doing watercolor with food wrap on cookies. Okay, everyone. Let's hope I'm not gonna replace. I will be not replaced with Eddie. With all the AI happening in the world, like I feel like it's such a strange world these days. But Eddie does amazing work, and like I said, I love what Esther is doing with Eddie. She adding the outlines for her designs. Oh, you want to see them how I made them with the airbrush? The airbrush ones it's gonna be available. It's gonna be available in the Patreon group. And I have to tell you, I just got a new airbrush gun, and that was challenging because I never really thought about how the needle. I mean, I knew about it, but it's like, you know how it is. You know it, but you don't know it. Like until you have to really experience it. So I had a really big needle in there, and I put food coloring in my airbrush, and I just hit the trigger, and all the food color was gone. I was like, what's going on? So I had a really large needle there, so I had to replace it for like a super fine. The needle that I used for these was 0.2 millimeters. It's a very fine needle, so I was able to get a nice detail on these. Oh, you wouldn't. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. I'm just kidding. But Eddie, I think it's a good invention. It really is. And especially if you are in a business of making hundreds and thousands of cookies for businesses and corporate orders, it's very helpful, and it just makes things a lot easier. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. And I also wanted to remind you, let's see, I'm going to show it. You can also join Haniela's Cookie Club on Patreon, those of you who are interested, and joining the monthly challenges, cookie decorating challenges. And here are the ways how you can support the live stream. You can sign up for the newsletter. I put the link in the comment section. You can join Haniela's Cookie Club on Patreon. This is a subscription group, paid group, where I share monthly exclusive tutorials, tips and tricks, and also templates. And we are adding monthly cookie decorating challenges. I'm super excited about those. Also, there is Coffee live stream membership. On Coffee, I sell all the templates. These are digital downloads, so you need to cut these and print them yourself. YouTube membership includes 2 tutorials a month. These are exclusive tutorials for the members. And I already mentioned the coffee shop. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I hope you have a lovely, lovely week. And I will see you next week, and we will be doing watercolor with food wrap. Bye, guys.